Hello and welcome once again to Ignite Your Impact. My name is Jen Rhodes. I am seated next to my husband, Matt.
That threw me off. Good morning, everyone.
Why? Because I made it a statement as opposed to a question?
Yes.
Well, I didn't figure I needed to question your name.
Yeah, good point.
The inflection needed to turn downward. You are Matt.
All good.
So today we are going to talk about what is the real problem. I'm just going to jump right on in. So I love asking that specific question. What is the real problem? And sometimes when I'm having a conversation with people, they don't like it very much when I ask this question. My hair is really bothering me today. Most people don't.
What's the problem?
What is the real problem? The real problem is I had my hair in a ponytail and there's a bend in it that I don't like on camera.
All right, so now no one watched YouTube this week.
I know.
Jen's not happy with
I know.
hair.
So what's the real problem? I love asking this question. Stop interrupting me. Most people don't like when I ask them this because they already know I'm going to start digging. Like surface level answers. If you come to me with an answer within 4 seconds of me asking the question, this is not the problem. It's not the problem that you're trying to solve. And we're going to have to sit with this for a minute. And this question takes them back a little. Like, is that the actual problem? It takes them back a little. And most people don't know how to answer because it hits that area of your subconscious that tries to protect you. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Like that hits that guard. And I see kind of this look on their face like, huh?
Yeah, and that's kind of the point of asking that question is one, it slows them down, like you just said, but it gets them to maybe start thinking about what the real solution is. So let's dig into this a little bit. Whether it's a problem that you're trying to solve or even a goal that you're trying to hit, where we see most people miss is they don't define what the real problem is that they're trying to solve for. And when you don't define what the real problem is, then you spend a bunch of time wasting time. You do a bunch of stuff that just does not get you to either solve that problem or hit that goal. And I want to give you an example. It's very typical of a lot of people. They wake up in the morning, they get out of bed, they look in the mirror, and then they jump on the scale that's sitting right in their bathroom. And they get in the shower, look back in the mirror. They rummage through the closet to put on some clothes. And each one of these little moments reminds them that they're not happy with where they want to be physically. Then that affects the emotional and all those other things. But it reminds them where they aren't where they want to be. So the light bulb comes on that morning and they say, I'm going to start going back to the gym, which just so you know, I think that's great. I think a lot of times you have to have that light bulb moment to say, I'm sick and tired of where I'm at. And generally that's when this happens is you've rolled through that enough and you looked in the mirror enough. You said, all right, I'm going back to the gym. So this person starts going back to the gym. They start eating a little bit healthier. And, they're doing all the things. They do it for a good 60 to 90 days. And then life gets in the way and they get some interruption. Maybe they didn't see the results that they thought they should have seen in that 60 to 90 days. But regardless, they say, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to wait until, if it's life that gets in the way, I'm going to wait until. Let
me get through this.
Whatever it is that's going on, Christmas, Thanksgiving, graduations, whatever it is, let me get through this. And then I'm going to start back up. And this cycle goes on and on and on until they get that moment again where they're looking in the mirror, running to the closet, all those things, and they start again. So they woke up that morning and said, they woke up and said, I'm not happy with where I am. And they decided that the problem is I need to lose 20 pounds. And that was the problem they thought they had. So they attacked that problem the only way they knew how to.
Yeah. If someone sees one of my ads or any of my posts on our social media and says, Jen, I want to work with you. How much is it? First of all, if the first question is Quanto est, you don't know what the real problem is, right? How much is it? Well, then you don't know your problem, because if you really knew the root of your problem, it wouldn't be how much. It would be, what do I have to do to get rid of this problem? Fair?
Yep.
But if the first question is how much, I'm going to immediately ask, what is the problem you are trying to solve? What are we trying to solve? It's not a sales gimmick. I have no problem giving you pricing. I might even drop it on one of our podcasts one of these days. Go right down how I price out a year's worth of programming and how I get people from A to Z. But I'm trying to get this person to think about what the real problem is, because I may not be the solution. I may be the solution, but I want them to think about the real problem. I want to go back to, like, if you're immediately like, how much? We don't know the real problem, because if you do know the real problem, what's it going to take? Like, whatever it takes. But the minute I ask this, do you know what the problem is? They will, as I said earlier, pause and have a confused look on their face. What do you mean? I just told you my problem. I told you I need to lose 20 pounds. Cool. To myself, in my head, I say, no, that is the symptom, not the problem. But out loud, I say, why? Why do you need to lose 20 pounds? Why is 20 the magic number? They say, well, I'm just not happy with the way I look in my clothes. And I've kind of let myself go. This sounds familiar, yeah? All right, we're getting there. Still not the real problem. This is still a symptom. So if you are sitting with me and you give me these surface level answers, just know we're going to dig. We're going to dig with love. So I've let myself go. Okay, tell me more. Maybe walk me through what you've tried, how long you've been trying. And they'll talk about how they're going to the gym, and I eat pretty healthy. I always get that. I eat pretty clean. And then things got busy, and I just fell off the wagon, and now I'm just frustrated. I just can't keep going through this cycle. And I know that this is what they have probably been doing for a couple years or longer, which I get it. It's frustrating. Got it. So when you were doing this, did you feel like you were making good results during your time at the gym? Well, yeah. Okay. So tell me more about this eating clean. Well, I was watching my carbs and I was eating a lot more protein. Okay. Do you feel like it was working? Well, yeah. Okay. Was it sustainable? Honestly, once the holidays hit, I fell off the wagon, and I didn't want to go back to eating that restricted. So probably not. So then I asked, do you feel like there is a difference between now versus, say, when you were maybe 10 years younger? Is there a difference between the two? Absolutely. Okay. What do you think the real problem is? Well, Jen, I just don't think I'm disciplined enough. I'm not motivated. I hate that. Doesn't matter how many times I hear this. I'm not motivated. I'm not disciplined enough. It is like nails on a chalkboard. Now, when I say that, and when I say how much I loathe that statement, I don't mean the person is saying something wrong. Again, this is a defensive statement. We still don't have the problem. And unfortunately, that is what we have been taught, and it just isn't true most of the time. Do you need discipline in anything you do? Of course. But maybe not as much as you think you do.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong.
Right?
Yeah.
Like this is so deep-rooted in identity. So let's review what the real problem is. I know you want to lose 20 pounds because you're not comfortable in your own skin. That's still more of the outcome. That's the aesthetic you want to achieve. I mean, that's a goal. I get it. But let's dive into the real problem. Is the fact that life gets in the way? Yes. Okay. Is it the fact that your nutrition was not sustainable? Yes. Okay. Is it because you're getting older and maybe that dreaded H word or M word is getting in the way? Yes. Okay. Is it because you weren't disciplined enough? Yes. Okay. So I hear this a lot. And I mean, most of the time, this is what I hear. I'd say 95% of the time, this is.
Well, I think anyone listening right now is probably shaking their head saying, these are all problems.
And it sounds like we're getting really to the root, right? It sounds like we're digging.
We're getting to the symptoms, not the problem.
What this person is doing is focusing on losing 20 pounds. They're also focusing on how restricted they had to be before. They've also focused on how they failed before. And they're also focusing on getting older and maybe not disciplined enough. Does any of this sound familiar? Yeah? Raise hands. Yeah. Well, the only way to fix the symptom, which is all of these things, is to solve the real problem. And until we understand the real problem behind all of this, you are going to be stuck on a hamster wheel. You are going to keep going round and round. Even if you think you've solved it, if we didn't get to this real true problem, we're going to come right back around 6, 9, 12 months later. In this example, it sounds like 3 to 5 real problems, but those are symptoms. We've already said this. Most of the time, the real problem is the plan. The plan was dumb, like cutting all carbs. Fucking dumb. Don't do it. The plan wasn't flexible for when life gets in the way. The plan didn't evolve with you or understand how to manipulate the outcome because life is going to get in the way. The plan doesn't have accountability. Ooh, that's pretty deep-rooted in identity. And so on and so on and so on.
Yeah, and I'm going to jump in here because we're going through all these symptoms and we're saying, here, the real problem is your plan. And I know it sounds like a sales pitch because we do have the right plan, but I want to caution you on reading into that too much. The reason why is this is not just about fitness. I would equate this to business as well. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about business here really briefly, but as you listen, you'll hear the similarities of what people do when they are trying to lose weight or get fit or do any of those things. When things aren't going well in business, most people will just work harder and grind. I mean, if you own a business right now and you're listening and things weren't going well, what did you do? You put in more hours. I'm not saying you don't work your ass off and don't work hard, but you grind it. And then you start cutting expenses to get rid of all the problem things, kind of like the carbs. You start cutting all those things. And it's not a problem of not working hard enough. The problem isn't my expenses are too high. Maybe they're a little high, but you can't just cut expenses to a profit. You just can't do that. It's like you can't just cut carbs and expect to get muscle. It's the same damn thing. Or my system needs change, whatever that system is. And it goes, like Jen said, the hamster wheel. In business, it's the same thing. You have a bad year, you cut expenses, you work harder, you grind, or you start changing systems, and it doesn't fix the real problem. The problem is simple. It's your plan, whether it's business, whether it's fitness, it is in the plan. You've got to find the right plan. You cannot grind until you ruin everything around you.
Case in point.
Business owners, listen to me. You cannot grind until you ruin everything around you. And you cannot cut to make a profit. That's not the way it works. The problem is the plan. In fitness and in business, if you're not getting results, it's not all those other things. It's the plan that you're using right now. The problem of the fact is you may not fully know what you're doing in business or in fitness, and you have no idea what you need to adjust to get there. So you think that the results are impossible, and you hop on and off that hamster wheel in both realms of your life.
Yeah. Here's the truth. In either category, you will just get on a roller coaster hoping the next year gets better. Yep. Maybe my leads will get better. Maybe my body will decide how to cut carbs and not reject. Now, we are approaching New Year's season, and the number one resolution every year is to make more money. And number 2 is to lose weight.
Yep.
Do you see where I'm going here? Anybody? I mean, I can. The only way to get off the year over year trying it over again is to find the right plan.
Yeah, and I want to jump in real quick. We've shared the negative things that can go on. The positive thing is there are right plans out there. Mm-hmm. There are really good businesses that you can look at and see what they're doing to improve your business. There are business coaches out there. For fitness, there's fitness. I mean, there's all kinds of things out there. So it's not a negative that you can never get out of this spiral. The point is you've been trying the wrong plan for too damn long in a lot of areas of your life.
Yeah. I'm going to be very direct with you. Whether you're at the gym, maybe you're driving, maybe you're sitting in your office. If any of this sounds familiar, I have the plan and I want you to DM me right now. If I don't speak your language, I have friends in the industry that follow a very similar plan, and I will connect you with them. Either way, it is all good. But I am confident that the right plan will get you off that roller coaster and into where you want to be.
I love it.
Let's end there.
Yeah, let's wrap.
Let's wrap. I just realized I never put my rings back on after I went to the gym.
All good.
It's all good. If you're watching on YouTube, I don't have my rings on, but I don't lift in my rings. So, and ladies, you shouldn't either. All right, we're gonna wrap it up with that. I hope you found value in today. I hope you approach your fitness, your business, your finances with everything that we dropped today. If you are not seeing the results you want, maybe there's a better plan out there. Yeah? Cool. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We will catch you next time.